Hello and welcome to Susie Makes Craft channel. Today's video is all about reviewing the Spectrum Noir sparkle pens. Now as you can see I have two sets here. I have the spring summer set and the autumn winter set. I haven't opened them as you can see, and I'm going to do the review starting with opening the packaging. Oh, exciting. I will say at the top of this video actually that I have no affiliation to Spectrum Noir or Crafter's Companion, who seem to be the main supplier of these pens, and or any other company affiliated to them. I have no affiliations with these at all. So here we are, and nice cases, look nice and strong. Oh, yep, that's fine. I thought I'd broken it, but that's just like a wrist strap, I think. You can put that round your wrist so you don't drop them. So I'm going to open the tabs now. And what's inside? Ooh, lovely. Now let's just open the other one. Has the same carry handle. And a couple of them are a bit eager to jump out the box. Let's put them back. There. Now, look very swish, certainly look the business. Now let's see what the instructions are for use. Right, now I'm going to be, I'm going to be colouring in this, let's see if I can just make that not quite so bright there. This image here that I stamped earlier on a just an ordinary card blank. So I'm going to colour that in with the Spectrum Noir sparkle pens. So that's stamped and all ready to go. Now to use the pens, I'm just going to choose what colours do I want. Now I'm just going to have a look. This stamp came from Crafter's Companion, and they've done a sort of pinky red and a green mainly. Let's have a look. I think I'll have that orangey colour for the icing. And for the case base, I think I'll have this sort of sagey green. And the cherry on the top has got to be red. So I'll use those three colours. I'll put the others aside for now. As you can see, in each set, the summer set and the winter set, there's 12 pens in each set. And I believe they cost on average at the moment between 80 and £100, depending on what promotions are going on at the time. So quite an investment. It is a considered purchase. I love all things sparkly, so here we go. Right, now it's best to use the instructions that come with it. Now it says remove yellow retainer ring. So say I'm going to do the cherry on the top of the cake first. So I take the lid off, and I presume they mean this yellow retainer ring, which has a slight lift on it to help you take it off, which is useful. I think. Doesn't want to come off. And my understanding is that I will not need that again. Twist rib section clockwise to engage the cartridge. Well, this is the rib section here. You can actually feel the ribs under your finger around there. So twist clockwise to engage cartridge. So here we go, twisting. And that feels nice and tight now. Replace cap and shake well. Okay. It's nice and firmly on. You can hear a ball bearing. Helping to shake all the ink about there. Now, I have actually seen them doing this on Create and Craft, and it seems like you do have to shake for quite a while. So if you do suffer with any joint problems in your hands or wrists or shoulders, you might need to get someone else to do this bit for you. My understanding is you don't need to do this as much every single time you use the pens. So that's not so bad. And right, hopefully that's enough. I'm worn out. And it says hold brush upright. Hold pen upright and squeeze until ink appears. So I'm squeezing. Here it comes. Here it comes. Now, of course, something I should have got was a scrap piece of paper. Ooh. I just love colour, especially glittery colour. So that is working its way down. There. Let's get now let's see. Yep, there's glitter in that as well. Don't know if I can pick that up on camera, but you might have to take my word for it. Quite a bit seems to have come out initially, but so it says wait a few seconds until brush is fully primed, which I take it to mean that is fully primed because the brush is now turned from white to red, which is the colour I want the cherry on the top of the cake. Now, I am by no means a colourist at all. I have dabbled slightly in colouring, but no more so than how I would have done when I was at school. I'm not sure about how to use colour. I don't know about light and shade, but I'm going to give this a try as a newbie with these pens. Wow, this certainly covers very well. Maybe I'm wondering if that's too well. There's rather a lot of ink on that. Maybe I should just get the worst of it, because it's bound to come through thick at the beginning. However, it's come through and it seems fine. So the cherry on top of the cake is on there, and I can see glitter. Don't know if you can yet, but I think I'd better wait for that to dry a bit before I pick the card right up. Now I need to do the same with the other colours, so take your retainer ring off. Actually, before I go any further, let's read the rest of this. Oh, that is all it tells you. There is more on the instruction sheet, but it's in different languages. So that is all it tells you. Remove the yellow retainer ring, which I've done. Twist the nib section clockwise to engage the cartridge. So that would be there. Replace cap and shake well. And where it tells you to squeeze later, these are soft, so it's not difficult to squeeze. But again, if you suffer dexterity issues, you might have to get someone just to do that beginning bit for you. I think by the looks of it, they're just ready to go, and there's nothing else you need to do to them. Yeah, you can see that is drying nicely. And you might just be able to see the glitter. But please rest assured, that is lovely and glittery. I'm very pleased with that. Right, let's give this a shake. Oh, my arm's getting tired. Right, let's take the cap off. Hold pen upright, squeeze until ink appears. So this is the bit where I'm saying the black part of this pen is actually quite soft. So you have to be a little bit patient and not keep on squeezing it too hard. There, it's starting to come down, see? And there's that lovely burnt orange that I'm going to have the icing. It says, wait a few seconds until brush is fully primed. Well, that is almost primed, as you can see. The brush is changing from white to burnt orange. So that's not bad. Right. Let's go start to colour. And you can tell I'm not much of a colourist by the very careful way I'm going around the edges. Something that really surprises me and amazes me is the way, oh, there you go, went over the edge there. And again, the demonstrators just seem to whiz through what they do. They're obviously very professional and know exactly what they're doing. Unlike me, but I do like to do these reviews from a newbie point of view. I'm relatively new to paper crafts, colouring, etc. And I am somebody who generally doesn't have an artistic bone in her body, other than for yarns and fabric crafts. So I'm not somebody who generally does paper crafts. Always assuming that I couldn't. Now that's quite a nice colour, isn't it? Let's have a look at the glitter. Yep, there's lovely glitter on that. I hope you can, the camera is picking that up actually. But it is beautiful glitter. It's not just a sheen. It might be picking it up as a sheen. It is actually lovely sparkly glitter, you can see. Right, so you replace the cap nice and tight. And I'll do the last one just so as I can finish my cupcake. Yeah, I always assumed I couldn't do paper crafts and that because I am just hopeless with measuring. See, I'm just doing this automatically without thinking now. I'm just absolutely hopeless with measuring. Replace cap. And here we go with the shaking. And I think I've heard the term before, numeric dyslexic, which I think I always have been. Never got on with it at all. I'm all right with certain things. I can sit down and do fractions and things like that, but it's when they change the rules and you have no idea why, how, what. It's anyway. Mere numbers, they just don't go together. And however, lots of amazing things that you can buy now to help you do all things straight. And I've just actually invested in a layer tool. Layer 2, I think it's called Sizzix. It's a Sizzix thing, I think. Is it Sizzix? Must make sure. Layer Perfect. It's a Layer Perfect tool, and it sticks, not Sizzix, it sticks to Layer Perfect. I've just invested in one of those, and I'll be reviewing that at some point, but it's meant to make your measuring and cutting out and matting and layering much easier, so we shall see. Right, here we go. Right, let's have a look. That's fine. Here comes the squeezy bit. Some pressure is required, although I think that is shooting down quite. Yeah, it is. It's coming down, and I've hardly had to press this one at all. Stop squeezing a minute while it comes through. You see that? The brush is turning from white to sagey green. And this one's taking slightly longer. Shall I give it a bit of encouragement with a tiny squeeze? I would suggest you don't squeeze too hard because you don't want it all to come. Like I did a bit, I think I squeezed a bit too hard with the red, that's why I got quite a lot of it out. But can you see that? Right, it's taking its time, this one. Try and encourage it slightly. It is coming through. Just saw some more ink come through there, so I expect it to start coming through a bit more now. This one is certainly taking a bit longer than the others, but I think that just means be a little bit patient, not like me. Well, come on, my dear, this is a bit like watching paint dry. Right, I think it needs a little more encouraging. It's come through a little bit more. Still part of the brush is white, see? There, it's coming through. It's coming through now. Right, so off we go and paint a cupcake case in this lovely sagey green. Now, of course, I think what I would do in future is lay some of the colour down and spread it out with a dry paintbrush. They are water-based. I did hear that. On Create and Craft, they are water-based colours. So you can actually thin them out as well with a dry brush and a little bit of water if you need, or just a dry brush, lay some colour down and spread it out. I forgot to bring the dry brush, so I won't do that just yet. I just wanted to know what the actual product was like. To work with for a complete beginner. Yeah, now I have gone over the edge, you'll have to excuse that, I'm afraid. That's me. And again, there's some lovely glitter going on there. It's not as noticeable until it dries, but you can see it. So, let's put the cap back on. Now, something I'm interested to know, now I think the red one was the one I used first, leave that to dry, is, oh, it isn't. I thought, is it actually, oh, it isn't. I think I'd be inclined to store these laying down. It doesn't actually tell you how to store them, but I think I'd be inclined to store these laying down. Now, one thing I'd be a little bit worried about is it always going to come out quite thick at the beginning, or if you leave them to settle down for a little while, will it come out at a more maybe more sedate pace, maybe not quite so eager? And it does seem to have calmed down a little, but I don't know if using it is going to encourage it to come out faster. Doesn't seem to be. And that red has been laying down for a little while now. So I think I would most definitely be inclined to store them laying down. So that's the Spectrum Noir glitter pens. And I think using them in future, I would definitely use a dry brush to encourage them to, when you lay down the colour, then to move it around a bit, because otherwise it does seem, there's actually the word push on there to tell you to push when you need the colour to come through straight off. I'll just be a bit careful about pushing too hard, because the colour does come out a bit too eagerly. But as I say, I think I'm fairly pleased with those. My scoring mechanism is 2 thumbs up for full points, 1 thumb up for maybe could do better, and no thumbs if I don't like the product or I don't think it does what it says on the box at all, which isn't that often, thankfully. Now, yep, that's drying nicely. and glittering very, very nicely. I love that glitter. As I say, I'd definitely be inclined to lay a bit of colour down in future and to get a dry brush and spread little paintbrush and spread the colour around. I think that's probably the most economical use of these pens as well. So if you like a bit of sparkle in your life, I would give this, I'd say 1 3/4 thumbs up, because, and it would be 2 if it wasn't for the fact that the ink does come out, in my opinion, slightly urgently. So otherwise, yes, I actually think they are worth buying. So thank you, Spectrum Noir, for bringing even more glitter into our lives. I hope you've enjoyed this, and please stop by again soon. Bye for now.